Okay. So this is Noel Maurice from Indie Republik, and I'm very excited to be here with interviewing the two wonderful members of Nosoyo, Donata and Dime, and they've just released their second album. Second album, yeah. They just released their second album, Loud and Shameless, and everyone's very excited, including us. We have Alina and Emily with us, and Antonio, and looking forward to a little chat. So how are you two?
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for inviting us. We're looking forward to speaking to all of you. It's a bit lonely these days, huh?
Yeah, I know. Just reach out and touch the screen.
I mean, we just had to get out of our pajamas, you know, so.
Yeah. You could have stayed in your pajamas for us. I mean, come on. This is like 2020.
See the bottoms.
The bottoms.
Oh. So you just brought out your album, and it's like a statement.
Hell yeah.
What are you saying with your album?
A lot of things. Well, we have 16 tracks, and each and every one is saying something. I guess it became a concept album without us even knowing. We were basically going into the studio each and every time quite emotional about things that were happening to us, things that were very unpleasant in the music industry, and also some private matters, and it really came out quite literally. Like, it starts with the song "Be Loud." Who do you think you are to silence my song? So that's like, you know, clear to us. To us, it's clear. It might not be as clear to others, but
I mean, the whole process of making the album was basically becoming more true to ourselves, speaking up about the things that that we did not agree on, external factors, and becoming loud and shameless like that. Really, like standing for who you are, standing for your values, and being loud about it, you know, and not being ashamed of who you are, because we're all individuals, and I mean, I guess in the past couple of years, we've let people tell us what to do and what not to do, and we're completely fed up with that. So,
and sometimes we were like, can we actually say these kind of lyrics? Can we do that? Are we gonna get sued? And then we were like, whatever.
There's 3 explicit songs on the album.
Yeah, and one is not. Is it?
Yeah, so that's
on
like
Spotify. It says that there are 2 explicit songs, but I think there are actually 3.
That's the prize question. Find the 3rd explicit song.
Dun, dun, dun.
There's more.
Have you got something at the end that plays backwards, like where you become Satan? And...
We took it out.
Okay, no, fair enough. Spotify playlists are just tricky with that.
Our little Paul McCartney moment.
Yeah, so I mean, because you know, I know we've known you for a little bit. Indie Republik, we've known you for years, and I remember like hearing some things about what was going on with you, like some rough stuff with the music industry last year, which I'm gonna ask you about, and you can refuse to answer, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. But for me that was really cool when I heard the album, because I was just like, oh, this is cool. They're just giving it straight back, you know. And I love the I want to fuck the system attitude line. That is really cool. And and
I think you won the prize.
Yes, I knew it.
No.
Yeah, I think it's that song.
No, but you know.
Okay, so for everyone else, then so you tell us a little bit something about what happened with you last year, some of the stuff that you went through with the music industry, stuff that you feel comfortable talking about, because I know that also leads not only into your album, but also into you setting up your cool new record label that you've put that album out on. So tell us something about that.
It is quite difficult to talk about because it all kind of interferes with each other, and it's not finished. I have to say there are 3 things that happened, 3 kind of not lawsuits, but like uncomfortable situations. And 2 of them are still going on, and one is was ended quite peacefully because we broke up mutually with our last label, and that's why we decided to. Or I mean, this guy really had the energy to make that decision. Kindness Records was really, without Daim, we wouldn't have. I would never have had the the courage to do that, and I'm glad we did it. But
me too. It wasn't
really
easy. I mean, like I said earlier, we were letting other people tell us what was good and what not, and then we realized that actually nobody knows what's good and what's going to happen in the music industry.
And they said, they actually confirmed that verbally, like we don't know what to do, and so it felt like, okay, well, why are we here then? And they were like, you can leave, and we were like, maybe we should, and then we did.
Okay,
which made things complicated.
It was fair, and it was exciting and scary, and definitely a good brave step.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when your first album came out, and like in the videos and everything, you definitely were like this kind of like you kind of, not that you're not cute now, you know, but you were definitely like this cute couple, and like you're it's really cool. And then and then you know, it's just like definitely time, you know, 100%. And then
dude, I mean, look at this face.
Yeah, look at that face. Yeah, but what have you had work done? I mean, come on.
I'm
let's ask the real questions. But no, and there's definitely an edge to you now that wasn't there before, that you kind of like, you know, the fuck the system attitude is in town, you know. So,
I started painting my nails, you know.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I've always kind of been into these metrosexual kind of guys. Yeah, so I think we've had a lot of edge all the time, and it was all ironed out. It was just all gone, and we cannot point the finger at anyone. We've let it happen too. We were picking the pictures. We were like, this is a safe bet, blah blah blah. And even just the fact that we made everything black and white, to me, you know, in retrospect, feels like that was not what we stand for. It felt cool, but
life is not black and white.
It's just like, you see our things now, and we love color. We love all these bold experimental shapes and colors, and you know, dime with a lot of makeup. It's just nice. I wear a lot of makeup here and there too. It's nothing special for girls. So it's just you know, it's a lot of freedom that we have actually not taken, because we thought we need to kind of like be serious, and what the result was cuteness, which is like, how did that happen? I'm not cute. He's a bit cute, but I'm not cute.
It's like you're really trying to fit in to something that we were not.
Yeah.
I mean, we're very, very happy about the whole process, because the beautiful thing about the whole story, the whole journey, is that it has shaped our music, and it has also inspired us to write the songs that we've written and that we will write, because we cannot really write about anything that we have not experienced. It doesn't feel authentic or genuine. But in
the beginning, the first album was really about trying to encourage ourselves too. So actually, the conversations we were having were not cute at all. We were scared. We moved away from Amsterdam, which is like a small, nice village. Everyone helps each other out there.
It was a safe bubble.
It was definitely a safe bubble musically, and I mean, we knew everybody. It was so nice, and and we really missed it. And then our car got robbed, and all of our instruments were gone, and we moved to Berlin. We were like, yay, new beginning, and we had no money. It was like, it was a rough start, and we had to somehow keep our spirits up, and so we made a super positive record, which was super needed. And at some point it felt like, okay, let's we're done here, let's move on, let's be bold, let's say what actually happened.
Okay, so can you talk us through what, like, I was going to say partly the process of writing the music and recording the thing, but also I wanted to combine that with a question about how you've been dealing with the lockdown. For musicians, obviously it's very tough or very interesting maybe as well, and it's a very particular thing. So how did all of that come together?
Wow, what a combination of questions.
So
the album was written way before.
Yeah, exactly. So the album was finished already almost 2 years ago. Okay. Now it was supposed to be released last year, September. And then of course the lockdown happened. And then we postponed it to, I think, spring this year, like past 6 months ago. And then that didn't happen because we wanted to make a video, and of course we didn't know how to make it and how to keep the regulations and stuff, so we postponed it to last week. And in the beginning, like, to connect this to the question of how we've been experiencing the lockdown. In the beginning, we thought it was really a beautiful time to ground ourselves and to really kind of re-navigate how we want to do things, and also style-wise, because we weren't really happy with it. And then spring came, and then we met an amazing person, Yvonne, who has been doing our graphic design.
She really helped us do a complete overhaul of our visual aspect, because we always felt like that was something where we want to experiment a lot more, explore more, and so we really said, okay, let's take the time and define and take take real action here and do things a bit different than before. It was always kind of hurried, and we weren't really happy about it. Wasn't really outspoken, and I mean, it was nice. I don't want to say that things were not good, but we just had something else in mind, and
it didn't also the old visual style didn't fit the album that was going to come out.
Yeah, and actually, I think the lockdown, I did drive me quite crazy creatively. I have to say, I was not creative at all. I'm hoping that the second lockdown is going to be different, because last time I was so freaked out. I didn't even notice how freaked out I was. And we were just like two panicky little animals. We were just trying to create videos, because everyone said you need to become more visual. You need to, we were buying gear. We were trying to make videos work until we noticed we're musicians. We need to make music, but we spent months trying to make videos, and some of them turned out nicely, but I think
we used 3 or something out of 17 that we made.
Okay.
But that's also part of the process, of course. But I do really connect with what you say, is we really try to fill the gap of the time that there was all of a sudden.
Becoming a digital musician, it was a bit scary, actually.
And actually, we had less time than before the lockdown. So that was also kind of, it took us a while to realize that we're just trying to fill something that's not there, filling the void. And then we realized that didn't really work for us.
Is that some kind of an answer?
That was pretty cool, actually. I was really getting into that. I was like, wow, they're really answering this. A lot of people just say, can you please ask me something normal? But no. So those videos, because you're saying Yvonne, can you give me the full name? Yvonne who?
Hartman.
Yes.
Hartman.
Yvonne Hartman.
Hartman. Okay.
Hartman.
Hartman. Okay.
Hartman.
I'm sure a lot of people will want to know who this hard man is. Yeah. Okay, cool. And but the videos that we've seen that have come out for the album, are those some of the video work that you'd put together yourself, or where did that come from?
You mean like last year, or which video?
The new singles.
We did that in cooperation with Yvonne. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. That was my
she's super talented, and just decided to teach herself how to make lyric videos and
animations.
Okay.
She's the bomb.
She didn't know that before.
And the last thing I'm going to ask you before I'm going to get a couple of other people asking you questions is then I was going to ask you which I try to ask everyone, because the corona lockdown thing is not over yet, but sometime it will be over. Do you think it will change the music industry in some way? Do you think it should change the music industry in some way? What would you like to see coming out of that, and what do you expect to see coming out of that, if anything?
I want to hear your answer. What's going on? So I think there are two answers to this.
In May, we did our first live streaming concert with United We Stream, and we played in front of 8 cameras and 2 people. So that was an interesting experience. It's what I really miss, or what I really get out of playing live, is really connecting with your audience and creating that beautiful presence of energy in a room together, not just the artist, but if there's no audience, then the artist performs for air, in that kind of sense. And of course, we did feel some kind of energy with this live stream, because people are watching, but there's no direct interaction, only after you're done. And in between songs, it's also funny because you say something, you tell something about a song, about how you feel about a certain situation, and you get a feedback, or you might even get a question from the audience, and something that you can actually work with and bounce back and create that energy. And like the whole show we played 45 minutes, I think, and then the cameras were off, and we were like, okay. We felt kind of, it was
unreal,
fulfilling in that matter, in that sense. You did have energy. There was an adrenaline. There was this kind of rush because that people were watching, but you don't feel the energy. So I think in the future, it would be amazing to have a hybrid kind of thing, that you have a full-on show with this live streaming service that you can reach basically everyone in the world that has a laptop, a phone, and internet. And I think that's an amazing development in technology. And I think that is also a way in the future for artists to actually create more revenue with their music. But if it's going to be solely live streaming, I don't know. I mean, what I've experienced also, like in May, there were so many live streams that people actually didn't know what to click on or where to go, and then there's like 3 of their favorite bands playing, and somebody's doing a cool interview, and it's just an overload. And I'm not sure if people can keep up with the technological development that is exponentially growing at the moment. And like for now, it seems like that is the only future, but I definitely hope that we can have nice full-blown audiences again, and share emotions.
I was thinking that, like, I mean, at the same time, that's also like, that's one positive thing maybe that's come out of the lockdown, that like everyone's been pushed to actually do this like streaming thing. And I agree that like that just streaming someone in an empty room is not the cool thing. But as you say now, I think everyone is much more open to this idea of like doing hybrid stream concerts. So like, streaming everything that's going on. And I mean, maybe that's like some technological developments that have been, have exploded out of this kind of like forced environment. And now, Donas, I'm looking forward to your answer.
Yes, me too.
Dun, dun, dun. Well, I agree with you. And what I really notice now, and also before the lockdown and everything, is that what really needs to change for me is the visibility of more diverse artists, and more, there's a lot of push for the major artists also right now. You can really feel it, that actually bigger artists have a huge advantage, right now, also in live streaming and doing their events and everything. And there is just this huge gap in between. And I just feel like it is more visible now that there is a gap. So the whole visibility problem for me is just, it's more visible in a way. And so that's something I'm really trying to focus on more myself, also as a consumer, just trying to support smaller artists more, and more diverse artists, and trying to motivate people more to actually put themselves out there in a way that is not just the same kind of, oh my God, I'm streaming on Instagram, I'm doing this thing. There are so many things out there, how to earn money as an artist. And I think now we really are forced to sniff around a bit more. And I'm really hoping that there will be more things like Raketerij, or, things where you really go to these cool, diverse artists, approach them and say, hey, there's so much more hope than you think. There's so much more happening in the digital space than just live streaming for free on Instagram, and these kinds of things, this awareness that there's so much growth in the digital realm. I think that's going to be really, really interesting, and it has been nudged now, and it's gonna have to grow, and also just to connect more with a wider audience, also to be more eco-friendly and not constantly have to go on a plane to play in front of 150 people in LA as a Berlin band. That's just, it's not gonna, that's just not gonna do it in the future, I think. And if you have bigger shows, okay, it can be worth it. But yeah, right now there just needs to be more expansion without the cost, without the effort, without, you know, without the support. Because also, what if you have a different lifestyle? What if you cannot travel all the time? What if you have a family? What if you have health issues? All these things, they're now we are seeing that there are different ways of doing everything, and actually even the consumer is noticing that hey, we could do things differently, and you don't always have to support just the big ones. You don't always just have to go to 3 concerts a year because that's all you can afford. You can actually do it differently. But I think this conversation, I could really I could keep talking about.
Well,
this.
Donata actually founded a platform.
Ooh.
in the middle of relaunching. That's why I was like,
called Musical Women.
Yeah.
And it's a platform. They're developing it still, and it's for to support female artists in every aspect. So, you know, marketing, but also songwriting and recording. And
it was very cool. It was very eye-opening because we started the whole initiative in December before anything was going on, and we had co-working events. So we would just gather our things and just sit together with our laptops and chat a bit, have coffee, and then work. And it was a very small, innocent get-together, but of course it was completely impossible to repeat it. And so we started doing weekly meetups on Zoom, and everyone was struggling with the same kind of thing. And it showed so much that not just artists, but also just the women, and also we had some non-binary, transsexual, and one gay man in our community that were really just so hungry for exchange, not just as an artist, but also the managers, the bookers. They were all we're kind of hitting a wall.
There was even
ways,
how do you call it? Like a psychology team. I don't know, what are they called again?
Well, they just founded Mental Health and Music.
Yes, so that's another platform, Mental Health and Music, because, you know, I mean, just we struggle a lot with you know, the things that we go through, and it's not easy for artists.
Yeah.
And it never really has been. Also, when you begin, you know, when you start, and there's a lot of thoughts and there's a lot of down moments.
Every third artist is dealing with depression.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah. It is, and it's
important. I've been feeling a lot better recently, so I mean, you know, I think it's gonna be okay.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have been really, really struggling during the lockdown.
Yeah, no, I can really imagine that. And I just want to say, you're going to tell us the links to those things, and we're going to put them underneath the video on YouTube.
Awesome.
Exactly. So thank you for incredibly expansive and interesting answers. And now I'm going to ask a couple of people that we have here. Alina, I think I'll ask first to ask your couple of questions, or 3 questions, or 5 or 10 questions. Or...
Okay, I can do that. Hey guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for answering my questions now. So I wanted to go back to the album, Loud and Shameless. Congrats on the release of that. And well, you said that you finished it 2 years ago, but maybe you remember. For example, when you were creating it and recording it, do you remember listening to any specific artists or albums, or maybe you got inspiration from other things like film or maybe art in general? Yeah.
Yes.
I remember we were on tour in Italy. It was a pretty long tour.
You made our playlist there, right?
Yeah, and we made a playlist there in the car. It was to keep us focused on the road and to keep us energized. And the playlist is also, it's on Spotify as well. It's called Becoming Famous. The big inspirations were MIA.
Yeah. I think that was actually what we listened to the most.
Yeah. Also things like the Kills.
Yeah, we had our little list of references.
What else? I have a blackout.
We had this one specific Florence and the Machine song, Big God, which we thought was so ballsy and so actually it inspired a lot of the production because the vocals are so dry and upfront and it's so and all that dirt.
Very direct.
You could hear all the dirt in the vocals, and that's something we really tried to achieve as well.
Then there was this Kimbra song as well. What was it called again?
Top of the World.
Top of the World. Top of the World.
Yeah, that was
amazing.
That was cool. It's a very like cynical song. Also, I think about the music industry actually, in as a matter of fact. And yeah, I was reading through a lot of Chance the Rapper interviews. And actually one of the interviews was about him saying that he was making, he founded his own label. He had some of the most innovative business. I think he was like the Trent Reznor of hip hop in a way. And he was really breaking the rules and founding this foundation about that artists that are not part of a major company, that they are supposed, or not signed, unsigned artists should be able to be nominated for Grammys. So set up this foundation, and I was just super inspired by his whole mindset, which was actually funny because that was before we founded our label. And there was literally a sentence he said that he was working with a friend of his. He didn't say a name, but some probably like super famous rapper who was rapping on his album, and the A&R of that artist came by his place and said, dude, you cannot release this because your friend, you think he's your friend, but I own him. I fucking own him. And I was like, whew. I was reading this, and we were just going through some stress and some first little disputes. And I think I literally put that sentence in Too Tall as a Tower. You think the people that you own or something. Oh, yeah. To keep all the people you own. I don't know. And so, yeah. So there was a lot of like collages on those kind of videos and interviews that were, I think, an interview of Madonna also that she held when she got the Woman of the Year award or something. Like, there are some snippets where I was like, oh, wow, somebody said this in public. Cool, I'm going to put it in a song.
And the big inspiration was also Frank Ocean.
Oh, yeah.
We're two big Frank Ocean fans. And
I have him here as well.
Oh, yeah. And also, he's super loud and shameless. I mean, he's black and he came out. He's gay, and
he's black and he's gay. Yes.
Like, that takes a lot of courage also, if you're becoming so well known in the world and so many people listen to your music, and wow.
I think especially he's just an avant-gardist in a world of mainstream pop. He writes for Justin Bieber and puts out an album that to me is just pure art, and it's such a fuck you. It's so great.
Yeah, well, what you said about all the inspirations, I can definitely hear it now. Like it definitely makes sense. That's very, very interesting. Cool. And another question that I had, well, obviously, like every album is like your baby, and it's really hard to choose, what's the best or what's your favorite. But still, maybe do you have at least like a current favorite song or songs that very like resonate with you now?
It's the last. It's the last two songs. My favorite at the moment is On Our Own, because it really reminds me of, there's nobody gonna save you. There's nobody there, In the end, there, of course, you can get support, you can get help from friends and family and whatever.
You can save yourself.
But in the end, you have to take responsibility and stand up for yourself and create your own reality, or
And
shoot for the stars and live your dreams.
Mine is Kindness, and it's also the name of the label that we founded, Kindness Records. It's the last track of the album, and I just always loved the sentence, "Kill them with kindness."
That has been our motto as well.
Yeah, it was also, it was so nice how the song was created, because we were just jamming on a Wurlitzer and a bass, I think. Yeah. And we had that instrumental, and I was just like babbling vocals over, like, and we always keep those to kind of phonetically write lyrics on them sometimes when we have these jam sessions. And from the beginning, this jam session was so great to listen to because this melody was there from the start. It was such a beautiful, clear melody, and the lyrics weren't there yet. And then we had a terrible day. Actually, we had a terrible fight, and we got into the studio and we were like, we have to be creative now. Oh God, we cannot be creative. How can we be creative after such an email that we just received? And then we were just so literal. And there was this thing that we were in a fight with someone and we really felt badly treated, and it was really just unfair. And this guy was like, okay, so I will forgive you everything in case you come here and apologize for your bad behavior. And we were like, we didn't behave badly. Shut up. This is not how it's gonna work. You cannot order us here, get what you want, make us like go down on our knees, and we apologize to you, and then everything is gone away. Like,
beg for forgiveness.
No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna apologize. And people were pushing us like, oh, just say you're sorry for something you didn't do, and then things will be moving on. And we were like, no, we're not. We just can't do that. We just cannot do that with a clear conscience. And so there's this line in the song, which is, what was it? If I can apologize, but I would just lie in your face or something. And so this actually, I don't think that I would have done that person a favor if I would have apologized and not meant it. So I was really like, no, I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be fair, but I'm not gonna say something that I don't actually mean. Still, I'm doing my very best to practice kindness on you, even though this is all so difficult and hard. So this was like our challenge, and it really reflects our mentality.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a fire burning and you pour more gasoline over it, then we all know what happens. Yeah. It just escalates more. So.
Yeah, well, but practicing kindness isn't actual. It's a muscle training. If someone makes you so angry and you feel so humiliated, and then you still like, okay, shit, how can I still be kind? I mean, I need to set my boundaries, but how can I still communicate with kindness? And that was like, for me, like a life's lesson in a song. So that's my favorite.
Interesting. That's very, very cool. I need to re-listen now to those two with a new context. Thank you, guys. Well, I think I'm gonna, also, I think Emily wants to have a question. Thank you.
Thank you, Alina. That was some really good questions. And as I say, then we pass it over to Emily. She definitely has a couple of questions for you as well.
Yes, hi guys. It's so cool to be able to do this over Zoom because it's so difficult to organize these kinds of things now, but this just makes it all so easy. So it's amazing that you guys are taking part in this. So my first question kind of revolves around music videos because I've always found them so interesting and found it so hard to imagine how you go from a song to a video. So I just wanted to ask you what you consider when coming up with the concept for any of your music videos.
Good question.
Okay, so how do we get started here? I think our music videos is a collection of accidents and trial and error and very beautiful moments. It's like a collection of very much randomness and creative sparks that spark and then go into completely different, directions. So it's always been,
in our experience, in my experience, it has been, you come up with the concept and then you start doing the shots work. And then the work, and then you realize, or there's not enough time, or the things that were planned were maybe a bit too far-fetched, and then it all usually turns into something more organic and something that fits the song better than the whole concept actually was. And
well, for Highness, we had a complete script written. I don't know. I sat down and I did horrible drawings. You can actually see them on Instagram. They're so funny because I was like, it looks like a kid. And I made these drawings because I a stylist sent us outfits, and these outfits were so out there and so crazy, and I loved them. And somehow they were like royalty, but also a bit with a twist, and they were funny and sexy. And so
it was the first time we actually put like more humor into our video, I think.
Yeah, and so we were like the two musicians that are like making money, making gold out of everything that we're touching, and as if it's like so easy, and as if we're just piling up the stacks in our cellar, you know, and just turning everything into gold, putting it up in suitcases and hiding it for ourselves, the greedy motherfuckers that we are. And it was so much fun to do this, to play this gangster couple. And
we actually got some emails and comments of people that thought it was real, that we meant it seriously.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, we did.
That's not true.
Yes.
It sounds like it's just so much fun.
You're like, what are you thinking? Like, who do you think you are? Like, you're on. And we're like, no.
It was a question. What does it mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a bit. Yeah, it was just fun and just being crazy, and I was like the boss bitch, and
and I was a super villain.
You were the villain.
Perfect.
So much fun. Oh my god, it was so much
But
fun.
I mean, sometimes it's more like a style vibe kind of video, and sometimes it turns more into a story.
And we have some videos that actually we would love to redo because they don't fully express. For example, the video Glitter, I love the video's look, and it all looks very professional and beautiful, but actually in retrospect we didn't want it to look professional and beautiful. We wanted it to look we wanted it to have like a bold fierce attitude, and we had pictured it outside and with like fingers in the grass and glitter everywhere and like partying outside and smearing the glitter, and it turned out completely different, which is not a bad thing, of course, and it looks really good. And but like, yeah, it's always such a journey, and then it's always like, yeah, but we don't have the budget to do this and to do that, and so I'm sometimes a bit surprised that making it dirty and rough seems to require a bigger budget. So like these things are still confusing me a lot.
And yeah, like we said, it never really turns out the way that you imagine. It's also not you holding the camera, so you know, I guess we always have some kind of an idea of how it might turn out,
but it's always a cooperation with an artist. So
yeah, I think it just sounds like a complete science in itself, the whole process and the producing of it. It's a complete different thing from even the music, which is really interesting. And then I just wanted to go back to the idea of like, because we're on Zoom right now, it's quite appropriate to say, like, do you think personally, not watching yourselves, but watching like bands or artists that you enjoy, do you enjoy watching them online, like through this kind of platform?
To be honest, I haven't watched a single one.
Yeah.
I have, but it does not come close to. But I gotta say, I have watched more videos and also more live videos. But for me, it doesn't need to be live. I love when people put work into it, and when they actually make it look, when they actually make it into a piece of art, because the live experience, it doesn't have to be there for me anymore, because it's fine, you know, like if it's live, I would really like it to be live, and then it's about something else than just the time zone. Like it's not, the time doesn't matter to me in that matter. And but when I see people putting together a beautiful live video or any kind of video, I appreciate it, and of course I do watch more of that.
Yeah, I do watch live videos indeed, but
because we need it. Like it's so.
But then it's more like a music video for me in that sense, and like the videos that I do watch are the festivals with a big audience and where people jump around, and there's bouncers and people stage diving and crowd surfing.
It doesn't need to be live.
No, it doesn't.
Right. So to me, the whole life thing is actually quite overrated. And it's stressing. I think it's stressing a lot of people out. Like, seriously.
I think you're right. I think if you can get a kind of live experience that's not even live, but you can just watch it and enjoy it like whenever it suits you. You don't have to be there at a certain time. You can just go onto it after and still enjoy it in the same way. I think that's really cool. And I think that's a good thing that's going to come from this, is that that will be way more accessible for loads more people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Emily, for the questions as well. So then I think we're coming into the end of the time of the interview, but it's obviously we could sit here for hours like hanging out and chatting about things, but we'll do that another time, maybe without the cameras rolling. Yeah, so thank you very much for the interview. Before we go, the obvious questions like, where can we find the album? Where can people find the album? When might they see you live again? What can we, do a bit of promotion here?
You can hear the album on all platforms imaginable. Shall I name them all? Spotify,
yes.
iTunes, Deezer, Napster, Amazon,
Apple,
Tidal.
Deezer, you said.
Apple, I said Apple.
Anything, really. Amazon.
iTunes. Yes.
And more.
And YouTube.
Yeah. Okay, that'll do.
Okay.
Good. We should.
No, wait. And on our website, www.nosoyo.net.
Where you get all the links to the platforms.
Yes.
Are you going to do a physical CD?
We actually, I just wanted to say that we actually decided not to do that right now, which doesn't mean that we'll never do it, but just right now it's just not the thing to focus on.
I heard everybody's going digital, so we were like, let's go digital.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
it's really like your sign of the times. It's really cool.
Yeah, we get it. We get it. But the concerts is a bit of a sad story because I don't know. We just don't feel comfortable doing a concert right now. So we are thinking of alternatives. We're going to announce as soon as we have something worked out. We will announce it everywhere.
And you're all invited, of course.
Yeah,
that's possible.
Definitely. And it might be live, but it might also just be a video that you can watch whenever.
Cool. Then thank you very, very much for being here. Thanks, Alina and Emily, for your questions. Thanks, Antonio, for just like hanging out and looking cool. And I'd like to thank myself for just being me. And have a nice evening, and thanks very much.